And so the learning process, like, so I've met quite a few adult non-swimmers, and it's quite hard to like get when you're a child, you're a bit more fearless, aren't you? So if there's somebody who's like not been in the water, like what would you sort of say to them in terms of the learning process and kind of believing that it's possible?
I think the easiest thing is if you're, when you're a non-swimmer, is if your feet can touch the bottom of the water. If you can touch the bottom, then you know you're safe. And so that was the thing. But for me, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was, like I said, I was never afraid and everything else. I didn't worry about getting water on my face or anything else like that. It was just a matter of how far, I could go. And
do you think running and swimming can be kind of complementary, in terms of lung capacity and sort of to help your fitness?
Definitely. And I think also the coordination is good because, your arms and your legs got to go together and coordinate. And I think that's exactly what it is in running. I think sometimes when I was in the pool, I just thought about, my running technique and it worked, but the only thing is that when you're running, you've got the ground to push off on. And, sometimes you're swimming, you forget. And then you realize that you're going under. And it's one of the hardest things is to keep your posture.
Yeah.
So I just found that, you've got to stay out and you've got, keep your head down and look at the bottom of the pool.
Howard was curious, when you started to like enjoy swimming, so once you sort of mastered it, was it from the start? Did you enjoy the learning process?
No, I didn't enjoy the learning process. I'm not going to lie. I mean, the problem is the first time I went into a pool, 25 meters was a struggle. And, so I got to 25 meters. And the instructor said, back. And I think I need to rest here because, when you run, you do a run and then you have a break and then, or you walk back and then but I was, going up and down like, it just wasn't the thing and it hurt my lungs a lot. And then I think after I got, like 25 meters was comfortable, we went on a boot camp and they said, okay, 500 meters. And you should have heard the words because we were thinking, just about managing 25 meters. Now you want us to do 500. It's crazy. It was impossible. And, but we went out there and it took me ages. I think I was last, and also because I was saying earlier on, I started swimming in the wrong direction. You always wonder, you can stay straight, just swim straight. And I was going all the way over there and everything else. But, the second time we did it, I was in the top 3 or 4. So, then you start to realize, oh, well, I can do this.
It's quite interesting, like from a mentality of someone who's been first so many times. What was that like being sort of at the other end of the spectrum in terms of skill?
Well, I think, it's totally different sports. And I think also it teaches you perseverance. I mean, and that's one of the things, you've got to have patience.
Yeah.
And it's one of the biggest things in our sport also, and I suppose in all sport, you have to have patience. We always say you serve your apprenticeship. And then, the more you listen and the better, the more you try and work, the better you're going to get. And once you start to realize, I can actually float here. I can do things, and you start to enjoy it.
Yeah. And do you think your, psyche, the psychology of training for something, learning something that you sort of established over your career kind of helped you push forward with the sort of swimming challenge?
I think definitely. I mean, there were times when, we were getting ready to do the channel and I couldn't understand why we're going to do this thing. And you got to, it's about focus and get your mind right. And everyone else was talking. And, I had to get myself away from that. I couldn't do all the talking. I just had to sit down, go in the corner by myself and, focus and concentrate on the job in hand. Because if you don't concentrate, anything can happen.
We've got Swim Dem crew here.
Swim Dem crew.
And we've got, brilliant people like the Black Swimming Association doing some real awesome work for black swimmers. Have you started to see some of the positive impacts from these organisations and from you going out there and learning to swim? Do you meet some great swimmers?
Most definitely. When I got here earlier, we always had this myth that black people can't swim.
Yeah.
And it's like white men can't jump. You realise that it is a myth.
Rubbish. Yeah.
It is a myth. When people see, other people doing it, that they want to do it too. And I think it's, good. Hats off to you. Good on you to get us out there and do things.
Yeah, you got to see, it's the same with me being plus size. Like if you don't see people like yourself, you kind of think, oh, maybe it's not for me. But, we need to make sure that like everyone's represented.
Yeah, and you can be the first. Why not be the first?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it's all about, trying to be the first and lead by example.
Yeah, yeah. What would you say is your worst swimming moment or most embarrassing?
I don't know. It's the thing is, when I was swimming in the sea, I mean, it was, for me, I didn't realize how much the salt water burned your eyes and your nose.
Yeah.
That is, God. I mean,
when it hits the back of your throat.
And to me, that was, like what I did. I mean, I thought, okay, let me put some Vaseline on my face, to, fend off the salt, and then it allowed the water to get into my goggles. So that was embarrassing because then I'm halfway out trying to swim, and you're trying to close your eyes to stop the water, and it burnt like crazy, but nobody told me.
Yeah.
And so these are the things that you learn, and sometimes you're swimming and something comes and seaweed touch your toes or whatever. You're thinking, God, it's
a monster.
Something's going to eat me. So it can be embarrassing because you panic.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that's one of the things we learn.
It's so natural, isn't it, for all of us?
Little fish in the water, fish in the water will make you panic.
Yeah.
Top three. I mean, I think first of all, you need, as everything, you need an instructor. You need someone to teach you properly. You need get a friend, because I think you do everything, there's more, the more of you, the more the merrier. And I think, of course, always, and again, just the right equipment. You've got to, have the right equipment. It's not, swimming is totally different from running. And you've got to realize also, you can't become, complacent. Because it's.
And when you say right equipment, is that make sure you got a wetsuit if it's cold, or
well, exactly.
You're seen, or bright hats so that you can be spotted.
Well, I mean, for me, it's the wetsuit because it keeps you warm. Definitely. I mean, like I said, I use swimming as part of my training, and I think it's, like I say, it's low impact, and it massages the muscle. I think it is, and it's also. It helps you to be relaxed. It takes all the pressure off, running on a track every day. So yeah, I mean, I use it a lot, and I think it's essential. I think it's good, and I find that it cuts down injuries a lot, and so as soon as one of my athletes, start having, maybe Achilles or any sort of problems, I say, go to the pool.
Get in the pool.
Do some resistance exercise in the pool and everything else. And the ones who can't swim get a flotation vest. So I think most of my athletes now own a flotation vest, so they go out there and exercise, and it's good. It keeps you moving. Gosh, I think like we talk, my mind, and I always say the problem is we're all as talented as each other. There's no big secret to training. So how else are you going to win? You got to play. Get into people's mind. And I think that's what I did a lot. I played mind games with everybody else. And, I always say it wasn't that I was the best. I just made everyone else believe I was. And I think that is what separated me. Because, when I said I was the best, I actually believed it. Whereas some of the guys would say, I'm the best. But really? So for me, there was never any doubt in my mind. I've never been in a race that I never thought I could win. And even if I didn't win, I didn't lose because someone was better than me. It's just because on the day, my best wasn't good enough. And I think if you have that in mind, because all blood is red, no one's better than anyone. But, I just made people believe that I was better than they were. And
in any sort of activity we choose, we've got to believe in what we're doing.
Well, if you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you? And, and all things are possible if you believe.
Yeah.
And that is just my
Is that your key message to the people you're coaching today?
Yes, indeed. All things are possible if you believe.
Yeah.
And seriously, you can do anything that you believe you can. If you can see it, you can be it. So don't have dreams, have visions. Because when you dream, you're sleeping.
Love that.